Hi guys, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason.
I'm Amy.
And panting in the background is our fuzzy third, Freya.
I'm sure you can hear her. She's loud.
She breathes loud. So please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have a bunch of videos coming out for you guys. And every subscriber, we're going to go ahead and give her 10 belly rubs and 1 TREAT. Every like will give her 1 belly rub, so you don't want to be stingy with those belly rubs. So for today, I want to talk about another book in the hey genre. You guys probably noticed we've had quite a few of these coming out lately. I tend to go on kicks, and I just finished a whole bunch of this particular genre. Yeah, that might actually be strokes. When I was single, yes. So you guys are going to see a whole flood of lit RPG reviews coming soon, because that's what I'm currently.
But don't get it confused. He's not single.
So so today I want to talk about Fostering Faust by Randi Darren, and as always, I'm going to talk about 4 things. I'm going to talk about the world. I'm going to talk about the character. I'm going to talk about the plot, and I'm going to talk about the writing. So for this one, the world. I actually kind of have to slightly touch upon the plot too. Like a lot of because this is not quite gamelit, but it's close. It's definitely harem lit, but it's not quite gamelit. Like a lot of these genres, the character dies and is awoken in another world, right? So he takes someone from our world basically and is offered a deal basically by a mysterious goddess.
Faustian
and
deal.
Well, not quite.
Oh.
And goes to another world, and this world is medieval type world. Not so much not your full blown fantasy world, because no instances of magic pop out in my head. They could have happened in the book, but they were so minor so no instances of magic pop out in my head. Although aside from the actual presence of gods and goddesses that do make things happen, which obviously would be some form of magic or supernatural, so yeah, just it's a medieval type of world with your usual kings, queens, duchesses, so on and so forth. Little countries at war with each other, city-states, stuff like that. And the main character's name is Alex, and he ends up, so I'm going into the characters now, so he ends up reborn as a minor noble. He's basically taking on the body of a noble, so he has to use this person's history and manage to twist it so he can be his own person and do what he is going to do. Now, this is where we get to the fostering Faust part of it. His deal with this goddess is he basically needs to make deals. He needs to make deals, and he needs to get a certain amount of energy from these deals per month in order to basically remain alive. And the way he gets this energy is the more heavily slanted to the deal is, the more energy he gets. So when he makes these deals, he has to be able to do it in a way that it basically takes advantage of him. So this book definitely draws a little bit of a line to some of the darker stuff. It's not a darker book, but definitely towards some of the darker stuff, similar to some of Stuart Gross's books, where the main character is actually evil, actually a slaver, actually truly taken advantage of people. In this case, Alex is not necessarily a bad person. He's definitely pretty good at making deals. He's probably a pretty good lawyer, and he's clever. But when he makes these deals, he does still try and make sure the other person benefits. He just benefits more. And some of those deals end up being sexual. It's definitely a harem lit book. Some of those deals don't. But a lot of times they kind of end up that way. He definitely ends up with a harem. In fact, that actually ends up kind of being a focus of his eventual wife and other mistresses to help facilitate this deal making and help keep him in this goddess's good graces. So that's where that's a big part of the plot. Now this is actually a series, and it's a really good series. I think the most recent one I haven't read yet, and it's on my list once I finish my lit RPG kick that I'm on right now. And that kind of leads into the writing, where the writing it's clever, it's amusing. The character is, again, a highly educated, I think he was a business person in the modern world, so highly educated, very, very smart, very clever person, thrown back basically into the Dark Ages, or a world similar to the Dark Ages. So someone who, hell, just watched enough Law and Order is probably going to be able to make some pretty good twisting deals and agreements with these people and get them to agree to things that are not in their favor, or he's able to find people that are truly at their worst and desperate, and is able to use that desperation to save those people while still getting more from them than he is giving. He always puts the people into a better place. Always puts the people into a better place. But they end up owing. They end up owing strong. Sometimes, a minor thing, maybe they're the equivalent of, this doesn't occur in the book, but the equivalent of, being, $1 million in debt, and, he'll pay it off, but 10 years of forced magical servitude. Not slavery, like they actually have to agree to any kind of sexual things, but, maybe, yeah, he'll get you out of that $1 million debt that you're about to go to jail or be killed for, but you have to be his personal valet for 10 years or something along those lines. Like it always slants towards him. Well, not always. It needs to slant towards him for him to get energy. He ends up making deals with this goddess. He actually talks to the goddess and makes deals with the goddess, whose eventual wife gets basically authorized to make deals for him as well. And they even get basically you'd almost think like a health bar or something. They basically get like almost like the statue that fills up as he gains it, so he can bank energy. He can store the energy. I think it'll hold up for like 12 months. And he ends up, I think, with a second one or a third one because of some deals he does. And it's clever. It's clever. It's very, very well written. It's really entertaining. It's hard to put down. You're always wondering what's going to happen next, because it goes not just from this whole Faustian deals thing, but ends up leading into wars between the countries, and how he's rising as this known noble. He's gaining power because of these deals. So he's rising as this known noble, even starting to possibly be looked at as a threat by other more powerful nobles, because he's consolidating all this personal power. And he doesn't want to. He kind of wants to stay under the radar. But he ends up, as a noble, being forced to basically be a general in a war. He has to help rescue another noble. He actually helps save the country at one point. He saves another noble in their country. Sometimes he makes deals that absolutely flat out do not favor him in any way, shape, or form, because he has enough banked that he doesn't need the energy. And the goddess allows him to do that from time to time. Even make deals where technically the energy should flow the other way. The deal so favors the other person because he's just trying to help them out. So he's not a bad person, but has to be Faust, or has to be Satan, really. And it's fascinating. Randi Darren writes really, really, really well. Again, this is harem lit, but if you pull those pages out of the book, you will still have a fantastic and very, very intriguing fantasy series. So I'm sure I'm going to talk about the rest of the books, especially the third one, because like I said, it's on my list to be read in the next few weeks or next month. And otherwise, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye.